Good to see y'all on episode 20 of Day in the Life of an Adjuster. So we just finished up an inspection of a big house, very similar to that one there, but yeah, we probably will show you the house that I was looking at. Oops, sorry. So we came to a really nice neighborhood. So take a look at the houses here. These are really nice houses. They're big, they're tall. They have an architectural shingle on them that was damaged by hail. So we're doing an inspection in the neighborhood because this is a very popular neighborhood for hail damage because of this storm. So probably expecting to be back here. This is in Greensboro, North Carolina, guys. They had a 1 to 2 inch hail event that has brought me 6 claims in 2 days for hail damage. So welcome, guys. Feel free to leave your name in the chat, hello, or where you're listening from, and we're gonna talk for a bit. So the downside to Greensboro for me is it's an hour and 20 minutes away from my house as a drive. Downside being, then it's a long drive home, long drive here in the morning. But the cool thing is it's better than if it was a catastrophe and it was further on. Hey, DV8, welcome. Kristen, welcome. Very good. New Hampshire. Oh, I used to live up in Manchester, New Hampshire. Only for a short time, for about 6 months. Lovely area in the wintertime. Very beautiful. Did I say your name right? Probably not. Kostya. Yeah, I haven't got my glasses on, so if I look like I'm squinting, it's because I am. Hey, DV8, how you doing? You're so faithful. You're here every time I'm live. It's so cool. Thank you. So anyways, what I was saying is, what's good about this event is that it's close enough to me so I can drive and pick up 2 or 3 in a day. And, oh, Constantine. Okay, very cool. That's a beautiful name, by the way. Very nice. So I can pick up these claims. Like, I don't mind if they send me 10 of them, because then I'll just book them together when I go to inspect them, all in the same area. Like, they're all within 10 minutes of each other because of this hailstorm that happened in Greensboro. So your timing is just good. Yeah, well, it seems like I'm always driving home around the 10 o'clock time frame, so it's that's what I'm doing. Is Eastern time. It's 11 now. It'll be a little later getting home, but I was out the door this morning at 6:45 to get to my first appointment. So it makes for a long day, especially for driving, but I enjoy driving quite a bit, so it's not that big of a deal. But what I was going to say is, having a catastrophe, this is actually called a catastrophe event from some of my carriers. They have deemed it, so now I'm going to get paid on a CAT fee schedule, and I'm also going to get more than 1 or 2 claims out of this. So what I'm hoping is that as the roofers start to work these neighborhoods, then they will start soliciting some of the other neighbors, and then I'll start to get more. So this is in my area. Within about 2 hours of my house is my area. And so what's really great is that they'll come in, and I just need to book them out a couple, 3 days out, and hope that more will come in the next couple days by email, so that then I can book 3 or 4 that day. Even though I'm doing that long drive, it makes it an incredible, profitable day that way. If you can pick up 3 or 4 hail claims on big roofs all in one day. And so that's what happened here. It's actually happened. I got 6 in, and so I was able to do 3 yesterday and 3 today, and they were all hail claims in Greensboro. So I'm buying every roof. It was a 1 to 2 inch event. So all you got to do is really just inspect. The roofers have already done their inspection, so they found the damage. So your roofers are your friends. They're the ones that are finding the work. So it's I think that's what's wonderful about being an adjuster, especially as an independent, is you got other people trying to find you work. You know, you got all these roofers in the town and all these roofers in out of town, and they're all excited to try and get it bought. And so they know, based on their experience as a roofer, that we're going to turn down stuff if it's too small, because we're going to look at it and go, not definitive, this is very small. We're not, if we don't find any collateral damage, which is like gutters, screens, downspouts, metal vents on the roof. If we don't find any of that stuff, then I highly doubt that it's going to damage a really hard shingled roof that has rocks on it, you know? So you got to look at it in that respect, is that the roofers also know that we're going to turn them down if they send us junk. So, and I talk to the roofers every time I get on a site, or I basically have that conversation with the roofer. Is if I think I'm borderline on something and that roofer's out there trying to get me, you know, to approve it, I'll tell them, you know, you might want to try and find something a little bigger next time, just so that you can absolutely for sure get that thing bought. You know, because that's their goal. They're wasting time too. Not wasting it, but they're spending their time going out, inspecting these properties and hoping for the best. They're hoping to get it approved. So I always tell them, we'll find the good stuff then. Don't be sending me this garbage that's questionable, because even if I think it's questionable, then I know for a fact that desk adjuster is not going to be able to see it from those photos, because they're never as good as what we can see. So that's what you got to keep in mind, is if I'm having a hard time seeing it and they're my eyes and my photographs, then I can guarantee that desk adjuster is not going to see it on those photos that we turn in. So we want to find something that's very definitive, very clear. You can see the divot in the shingle. You got big dents, you know, all over that soft metal, and that way it's a no-brainer. So just keep that in mind. Like, have those conversations with your roofers and just tell them, hey, you know, it'd be really good if you could find something a little more definitive the next time. Like if you're on one that's kind of borderline, then you could just say, hey, you know, maybe next time you could find something a little bigger, because I know they're gonna have a hard time approving this if it's borderline. All right, M&M Remodeling, welcome. Do you know where I can start studying on how to deal with insurance claims? Well, that's a good question. I don't know a whole lot of people that are creating content. Like you might want to look at some of the public adjuster websites, you know, like YouTube channels. Here I am dumping you off of mine, but I'm here, you know, I help the insured as much as I can find the damage, or, you know, look out for them. I do a very thorough inspection. Unfortunately, there are some adjusters that don't do thorough investigations, and then that's going to create a problem when you, as a remodeler, are out there trying to get this thing bought. And there's a couple different factors. You have to remember, the insurance company sometimes ties the hands of the adjuster as well. Is they have these strange policies, and they're all over the place, where the insurance company has created a policy that pretty much is not in the favor of the insured. I hate to say it, but there are lots of policies like that. And it's so borderline, like you got to have massive damage. You know, they don't pay for matching. They don't pay for this. They don't pay for that. I mean, there's just all sorts of things, and it's all policy language. So it's not necessarily the adjuster that's not doing a good inspection. It's that he's working for a company he already knows is not going to approve this roof. And it's sad. And your only option at that point is potentially requesting an engineer, because an engineer is someone that is going to be accepted as a professional, like as a truly educated and certified professional, able to make a decision on that roof for you. And that's going to trump anything that the desk adjuster says and they can't argue against it. Now, that's the odd thing about us as independents is, you know, I've seen 5,000 roofs. I know what hail looks like. So for some reason, they discredit us like we don't know what we're looking for. And I think that's wrong, because that's basically denying all the experience that I have of seeing damage, you know, on a roof, and saying I'm not able to determine what is hail and what is not. And so they are willing to question us on many occasions of whether our photos are good enough. And we're like, well, the photos don't do it justice a lot of times, because it's not as good as the human eye. The human eye is able to see 3D really well and see that indentation, whereas the photograph doesn't always pull that up. And especially since it's digital now. Now, back where it was film, you could easily tell the indentations on that, but we don't use film anymore, because film was a true copy of exactly what's there, whereas digital is just trying to do its best to copy it in pixels. And depending on the level of your, or the quality of your photograph, like if you took a 5 megapixel picture on every single one, you're going to be able to see the detail. But the amount of storage that takes is tremendous, and so I just use like a 2.5 or 2 as my standard 2 meg photo. It seems to do really well, but if they have to blow it up and look at it really close, then it's not going to be a good determination. So arguing with insurance companies is all part of the policy. It's not really the adjuster. The adjuster already knows, hey, no matter what I put on this roof, no matter what I tell is damaged, that insurance company is not going to buy it. And believe it or not, there's some insurance companies like that. And it's kind of sad. But, so what type of work do you do? Okay, so Bamboo, welcome to the channel. Well, as an insurance adjuster, I receive assignments from the insurance directly from my firm, but from the insurance company. When you, let's say you own a house and you say, hey, I had a hailstorm at my house and I think my house is damaged. You're going to open up an insurance claim with your insurance company. Well, that insurance company then calls a firm, which is basically another company that can represent me, and says, they say to the firm, they say, we need an inspection on this house. And the reason why they're using independent adjusters is because they don't want to keep all of us as employees, because there's a lot of expense to that. And meaning that there are sometimes we're really busy and sometimes we're really not. And so they don't want to spend all that overhead on keeping a full-time adjuster on staff when half the year he may not be working or be worth his while in the amount of money they have to pay him, because it's just a slow season. So they hire us as independents because then they only have to pay per job for the event that occurs. So the firm calls me and says, okay, we have an assignment for a hail inspection at a house. I go out to the house, I do an inspection, I tell the insurance company everything that's damaged in a report, meaning I write it all down, and then I also create an estimate using a standardized software that then estimates the damages that are found. We turn it into the insurance company. The insurance company then looks at the policy and says, okay, based on Daniel's estimate and based on the policy, I can pay this on his estimate, or this I can't pay. And it's all different based on every single person's policy. Once that's done, then the insurance company will call the insured, go over all the results with them, and write them a check for the repairs. And that way the insured can hire whoever they want to do the repair, and everybody gets paid for. And the only thing the insured has to pay then is the deductible. And that's how it works out. So I'm kind of like the middleman, but also doing the inspection that really does make a difference about what the insured's going to receive as far as damage. So this is funny. I'm located in Garner. Oh, very cool. And just got into roof salesman. Literally just got into it. I'm currently canvassing and haven't had any luck with people calling back. Oh, very cool. Well, don't give up. lots of opportunities. Next week I have an appointment with my bank to open my LLC account. Very good. Well, welcome. Yes, very good. Well, yeah, as a roofer, there's lots of opportunity. I would definitely stay in touch in the Apex, Cary, Durham, kind of like the south, I will say the southwest area of the Raleigh, the greater Raleigh area. And then Wake Forest, which is up in the north. You got your north area there, Wake Forest, Nightdale, all that area up on the northeast. Okay, so it seems like those are the best areas for wind and hail, pretty much on this entire greater Raleigh area. Now, Garner does get some, but it's not as common. Fuquay gets some sometimes, but I would say, like, if a storm goes through, it's in Apex and Cary. Cary, Apex, Anger, sometimes, but that's, you know, again, very southeast. But it just depends. It really depends. But it seems like Morrisville is a very hot area. It seems like the storm really hits there first. So if you're looking to, oh, thanks for subscribing. Very good. Very good. Yeah, so check out my YouTube channel. If you know, these are the lives. You can put the bell on and you'll find out when I go live every day or whenever I do. But I just talk a lot of stuff about adjusting and then how you can make money. So it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, insurance business is tough for a person who is not skilled, but for a person who knows what they're doing or basically spends lots of time learning and teaching themselves, they can be very, very good and very profitable. I got an idiot driving around me. Yeah, I got a camera on you too. So another reason, guys, why you have to have a camera is because people drive like a bunch of idiots. And if you have a dash cam, then you got it all on film. And it doesn't matter how many times they want to cut you off, run you off the road, do whatever they want, you got them. So it's going to protect your tail in the long run, especially when you're doing lots of driving. That's funny, in Greensboro, so like that's where I'm actually at. They have a street, and I'm sure you guys have these as well in different areas. It's called Death Valley. It's an area of the highway that goes right through the city, and it has more car accidents and more wrecks and more deaths than anywhere else in Greensboro, and they called it Death Valley. Doesn't it sound great? I want to drive through Death Valley and see if I live. So kind of crazy. Yeah, so I had 3 inspections today in Greensboro, and it was good. So now I'm heading back to the Raleigh area. So I heard from people I work with and homeowners. Let me, hold on, I got to turn here. Going a stop sign. And homeowners about State Farm and Allstate being the worst insurance to work with. I would say they're the worst, but they're not very pleasant. They make it very difficult to get a roof approved. So yeah, I would, you know, here's the thing. How can you be selective when you're trying to help the homeowner? You're going down the street and you're just kind of knocking on doors or whatever you're doing to find work. You don't know what insurance company they have, but would you turn down work just because they said they had State Farm? If you have damage on that roof and you take good enough documentation, you're going to get that roof bought. And yes, you might have to fight with them 4, 5, 6 times back and forth, and they're going to constantly be trying to not pay it. That's a very common occurrence. So I would say, not that they're the worst, it's just that they're the most difficult to work with is State Farm and Allstate, because they're going to make their due diligence to do their best to not approve it, whereas you're going to have to do your due diligence on the flip side to prove that it is damaged. And you're going to be working with adjusters, you're going to be working with public adjusters, you're going to be working with engineers, and then eventually, you know, it'll get bought. It always does. It's what happens is that I think that they're kind of hoping that the insured and the roofer will kind of get tired of bugging them about trying to get it paid, and then eventually you'll go away. So that's kind of their mentality, is just to be really, really hard and harsh, and and just kind of hope that you're going to get annoyed and go away. So, all right. So M&M or M&W or M&M, yeah, M&M. I have no idea on dealing with insurance claims. I would like to know and learn what you know. Yeah. So here's the thing. You can watch some of my videos, and the best thing I think I like about my videos is I spend a lot of time teaching what hail looks like. So for the roofer who is brand new and he's just getting into the business, and he's like, well, I want to make sure that I'm actually calling in a claim with the right amount of damage. Well, then it's time to study what hail really looks like, and then you can actually learn from an adjuster. You can learn from public adjusters. You can learn from other videos on people's page on what hail actually looks like. And then the cool thing is that once you have that look in your head, then now it's just a matter of replicating that on a roof. Like when you get on, you're going to be looking for collateral damage. You're going to be looking for your downspouts, your gutters, your window screens. And then if you walk up to a house, and to me the screens are kind of like the automatic telltale. If I walk up to just to the front door and I see 4 or 5 screens that have got hail damage on them, like big old rips in them, or even just circles on them, and you can see that from the ground, then I know that there's a very good chance there's something on the roof. And so that's where I would walk up to somebody's house and say, oh yeah, it looks like we got a hail event in your area. I do free inspections. Would you be open for me to take a look on your roof and see what kind of damage you got? And of course they'll say yes, because it's free. And so that's the process of what the roofers do, is they solicit people, and especially if they're in replacing a roof in a subdivision, then they're going to solicit all the neighbors and say, hey, yeah, your neighbor's got hail damage and we're replacing his roof. You should let us do an inspection and see if you got damage too, and we get you a new roof as well. Because if you got a house right next door to one that you've already had approved, you can get 5 around you in a heartbeat. Now, you don't know what insurance company they are, but if you're taking photos and saying this house got approved, this house got approved, this house approved, and you get to a State Farm or Allstate, and you got photos that all the surrounding houses got approved by, and you're actually putting the insurance company down. You're saying Progressive bought this one, Universal North America bought this one, Farmers bought this one, USA bought this one, and then you go to State Farm and Allstate, and they go, no, we're not going to buy it. It's like, how can you do that when 3 or 4 around of different insurance companies are buying this roof? That just seems like you guys are crooked. I think we should open up a file, the Department of Insurance for unfair dealings with you. And all of a sudden, woohoo, they're all scared, and then they approve it. So that's how it works. It's just squeaky wheel gets the oil. How much hail damage do you need to have for a roof slope or side of the roof to know that you need to call in an insurance claim? I hear different answers. So the typical hits per square, and that's per 10 foot by 10 foot square, is 8 hits. So what I do is I don't just take 8, because what will happen is the desk adjuster will discredit 1 or 2 of those in a heartbeat, just because the pictures didn't work out and they couldn't see it clearly enough. So I find 10, and I always put 10, and then I'll put 10 plus, because I know that if I went on my hands and knees on that shingle, I could find you 2 or 3 more in that 10 foot square. If I've already found 10, I could find you 4 or 5 more that I probably didn't circle. So either way, 10 plus is my magic number. They can't argue and say it's only 8, and they can discredit 2. So if they discredit 2 out of my 10, it's still going to buy it for 8. And they typically like to see 3 slopes with damage, or if it's just a big gable, just the front and the back. So if you only had damage on the front, then they're probably not going to buy the back. A lot of people will do that. So typically, I try to find the largest slopes that have the most shingles on them, and then I'll do my test square on that. Like I try not to do these little dinky little gables that only have 0.25 of a square or whatever on it, because it's not going to be a justification of replacing all the right slopes if that's only just less than 1 square of shingles on that area. So you're welcome. Absolutely. Glad you could join us. Make sure you hit the like button, guys, on my live if you like anything I'm saying. It really does help my live to show up more often in people's feeds so that other people can also then watch my content. I've had some really good feedback on my course. I'm offering a course for Xactimate, guys, to help you guys pass that level 1 and level 2 certification program. Several people bought it yesterday, and they started working on it and just said, you know, it was really really helpful. The videos were awesome. There's about 30 hours of videos, 30 to 40 hours of videos on the course, and so it's very extensive and is there to help you understand Xactimate, and then also to get that level 1 and level 2 certification class, which to me is ultimately the selling point of whether you know the program or not. And that's the estimating program. So M&M, this is the same thing for you. If you don't know how to use Xactimate, every insurance company is expecting the estimate from you as a contractor, whether it's water damage, whether it's roof damage, whether it's anything damage, siding, is going to be expecting the estimate to be written in Xactimate. And that's because it's line by line, where we can compare the estimate to our estimate to see if your pricing as a contractor matches up with the pricing of Xactimate. So the program, yeah, so if you look in the description of my videos, I have the level 1 and 2 certification classes there. You have to have a working copy of Xactimate downloaded and working on your computer. They don't give a free trial anymore. The company doesn't anymore, which is a bummer, because I used to be able to teach that course or teach Xactimate for a little bit for free for like almost a whole month, because they would give you a free month of trial. And now they took that away. I called them up and I asked them, I said, why did you guys do away with the trial? And I said, because there's a lot of people that want to learn how to use the program but not sure they want to go to that expense. And they said it was an executive decision. And I was like, well, what does that mean? I said, that turns away a lot of people if they can't try out the program first. I mean, what program does not allow you to have a trial first to see if you want to spend that? And that program runs $300 a month to use it, and you can get a discount sometimes from other people, but that's a lot of money to put out on a hypothetical. I mean, maybe your business isn't strong, maybe you're not going to do this as a primary business, but if you are going to do it, then you just write it as a business expense off. I mean, you're going to have to spend that money irregardless. But here's the thing. If you're writing an estimate that is accurate as a contractor, and then I get that estimate and it's right in line, even if it's 10% off, maybe yours is 10% higher, we're going to approve that estimate in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, not even question it. And they'll just make a little bit of a supplement and they'll pay for it. But if you come in there, like, which I get all the time with these guys who use different software, or they just use their brain to write an estimate, and they'll come in and go, painting $5,000, tile work $3,000, carpeting $8,000, hardwood flooring $15,000, and you're like, where'd you get these numbers from? And you'll talk to the contractor and he goes, well, that's just what we charge. And I'm like, I don't care what you charge, but I said, I want a line by line item of every single thing that you're doing in this house, from baseboard, shoe molding, paint, drywall repair, everything. I want it line by line item, because that's the only way that I can compare your estimate to my estimate and see where there's discrepancies. And I'm not here to say that you shouldn't get paid, but what if your line item included like 3 or 4 paints of coat or coats of paint that you're going to paint your baseboard with? And I'm like, number one, the boards come primed. Number 2, I'll give you 1 paint for seal, and then I'll give you a paint for a final coat, and that's all you need. So basically, you're getting 2 coats of paint. There's plenty of coverage there that can easily paint that baseboard. But then your estimate is, oh, our standard is we only paint 4 coats or whatever. And then all of a sudden you got these added expenses on your estimate that don't justify why you're doing it, because it's not an appropriate charge that you would do on a typical thing. So anyways, so to kind of go back, M&M, as far as the Xactimate's $300 a month, my course is $99 a month. You can learn Xactimate in 1 month, level 1 in 1 month. You can learn Xactimate 2 in 1 month. So basically $200, you're going to have all the training, take some time off, study the course, watch the videos, and you will be very, very fluent in that software program, enough to be able to, number one, probably get a certification. But if you're a remodeler or a contractor, you probably don't need the certification. But it's going to teach you how to use Xactimate very thoroughly, and it's a good course. I actually learned a lot while I was making all the videos, so I kind of brushed up on my skills and some of the things that I didn't know about. So how many classes and what times are the classes? Okay, so here it is online. It's on Patreon instead of YouTube, because YouTube was going to rip me off for viewing these things if I put it up there. But it's basically 2 courses on Patreon, and you get to watch all the videos in level 1 as much as you want for 1 month for $99. So you can rewatch it as much as you want online, and you sit there with the active program next to you. You watch the video on, next to it, and you just walk through it, and you'll learn as you go. Same thing with the second course. There's like 12 hours, something like that, on the second course, and it's $99 a month, as long as you want it. You can go back and watch it again. You can renew it as long as you need it. It's a typical course to teach you what I'm teaching you here is somewhere in the $400 price range is the pretty average price, $300 to $400, and I'm giving you for $200. I know guys that, well, even DV8 said this. He learned his in 2 weeks. So it's a very doable course that you could learn, and I'm just giving you a cost for 1 month to use it on level 1 and 1 month for level 2, and you can master this program. And here's the thing, the point why you want to be good at the program is because you want to be fast at writing these estimates, not spending all day writing these estimates, because you don't make money writing estimates. It's like you make money doing the job. So write the estimates fast, give people, you got to remember, these estimates, the pricing is all done by the zip code of the person you're doing the estimate for. So let's say you're working inside the Beltline, really high-end area. Once you get into estimating software, you put in the zip code of the place that you're writing the estimate for. It's going to put in all the labor and materials for that job based on that zip code. And we all know inside the Beltline is going to cost twice as much as going outside the Beltline to do that same work. But they figure it out. And they got all those estimating for all the labor is all doubled and tripled sometimes. The materials are all pretty typical, but the cool thing about the materials is that every month we get a new price list and it's updated. So I saw this when I was in a hurricane, is that we were getting price updates in the month. I got 4 price updates in 1 month from Xactimate because people were jacking the price of plywood. It went from like $6 a sheet to $28 a sheet for the same material. And so Xactimate was updating their price lists and changing so that we had all current pricing, and did it 4 times in 1 month. Normally I only do it once per month, but when the prices of everything changes, they're pushing out the new price list so that our estimates are very accurate. And then it's done by everybody's zip code. So no matter where you go to California, go to Florida, you go to Podunk, USA, it's all different, because I can guarantee Podunk, USA doesn't cost nothing to get something done up there, whereas you go to Central Florida or Central LA, and you're looking at 10 times the price to get the same thing done. So that's what's really cool about the software. I wish they had it when I was remodeling, because I was a remodeler for 18 years. And if I had an ability to have a software that gave me an accurate price, oh my goodness, what a deal changer. I lost so much work from bad estimates because I just didn't know how to estimate these jobs, because some of them were new and some of the things I had never done. Some of them were big jobs. and I just didn't give an accurate estimate, and somebody who obviously had better experience got the job. So I lost so many estimates because my estimates were not competitive, either too low or they were too high. And that's just not beneficial when you are a contractor. You want to have the most competitive price so that you can sell yourself on your personality and your skills and your one-on-one face-to-face. That's the selling point. Somebody might really like you and go, oh, well, he's 10% higher than the other guy, but I really like him. His bid is competitive. Let's just go with him. And so if you can have an accurate estimate, Xactimate is really the best thing for anybody to have. So the whole industry is changing so that all builders, all roofers, all contractors, all mitigation companies, everybody is using Xactimate, and insurance companies are demanding that from the contractors and saying, if you don't have that estimate broken down, we're not even going to consider your estimate. It's not even going to be looked at. And I get desk adjusters sending me estimates all the time that are these builders with these one-liners, and I'll write them right back. No way to compare the estimate, irrelevant estimate. I only take 5 seconds to write that email. I'll write it right back and say, until the contractor provides a detailed estimate with the breakdown, I cannot compare these estimates, and therefore my estimate will stand. So it's the best way to go. All right, so Deviate started Xactimate level 1 on 9/27, passed the test 9/30. Started level 2 on 9/30 and passed on 10/5. Wow! And where did you learn it from? Did you have a course somewhere else? Where did you take it from, Deviate? All right, let's see. Eminem, that's why I want to learn how to estimate with the program. Oh yeah, very good. Adjuster TV. Yeah, I've heard he's really good. Yeah, I've heard he's got a really good program too. Yeah, I like his stuff. I don't like his videos. I hate to say it, but I've watched his videos, like his YouTube stuff, and he does a lot of interviews with people. So a different style. I mean, I get it. Everybody's channel is a little different, but I hate to say it, but I've gone back to his channel, I think 4 or 5 times to try and watch a video, and I hope he's not listening to this. But I fall asleep. I just find it very dry, and maybe I'm the only guy, but he drove you bonkers. I mean, he's a great guy. He looks like his video production is awesome. I love his videos. He's done a really great job of his production, but his content's just a little dry for me. And I'm kind of a lighthearted guy. I kind of like visuals. I'm a visual learner, and I like to break things down kind of like really deep, like really deep. If there's something difficult, well, I'm going to go into it very, very deep. And so I get a lot of compliments from people saying that you just really explained it in a way that made it understandable. And that's just because I talk a lot. And so I don't just go, the sky is blue. Well, you know what? The sky is blue with a tinge of aqua and a little bit of lavender in there too. And my goodness, sometimes you'll see a little purple. Can you guys imagine what it would look like if the sky was just blue? No, there's also, so that's me. That's how I explain things. I go into great detail. I bet he's an awesome adjuster, but yeah, I don't care for the videos. Yeah, I think he's a really great guy. So, I mean, he's got lots of followers, so clearly people like his stuff. So, maybe one day I'll meet him and we'll collab on something one day. Because, yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of people doing adjuster stuff. So really, and I don't consider anybody my competition. I mean, I'm not here to compete. I don't care. I just like making videos, and I like talking to people and like helping out. And so if anything helps you guys, hit the like button. Only have 2 people in here that like stuff. Only 2 people like stuff. Man, you guys are going to make me sad if I can't get any more than 2 likes out of a live. And that's crazy. Yeah, YouTube wants likes. They like comments, so I'm glad you guys are leaving comments. That's good. Because the comments really do help the algorithm for people to find my stuff. And that's what I want. I mean, I met 2 guys today, roofers that were on a job that I was on. And the guy immediately comes up to me and he goes, I know you. And I'm like, don't think I've ever met you before. And he goes, no, I mean, I saw you online. Don't you have like a YouTube channel or something? And I said, yeah, actually I do. And so I told him, and he's like, oh my goodness. So he's like taking selfies with me. I was like, no way. All right. Well, it was fun. I mean, I was liking that. But, you know, he says, oh yeah, I definitely want to be an adjuster. And I'm so glad that, you know, you're out there doing that. So you're really great. And so I was just like, I was real flattered. It was good. But I like it because these guys tell me that my stuff is good. It helps them understand things. And that's really what I'm here for, is to make sure you guys understand everything. All right, so what are you guys up to today? Is it Friday today? I already have lost track of, oh, it is Friday. Oh my goodness, this whole week flew by. So I have some claims tomorrow, a couple local, so probably won't do a live tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know. Guess it depends on what I find. I think there are 2 water claims I'm doing tomorrow. But yeah, I probably should have done a video on one of the, I was on 1212 all the way around today. This was one of the big roof. This is the one I approved just today, this hail. It was kind of freaky. The granules are kind of bad, so it's not kind of the video that I want to do videos on if the ground, or if the shingles are not as stable. It's kind of, you know, holding a camera and doing that, it's not the smartest thing in the world. So yeah, and plus the roofers were talking to me a lot. These guys, whoa, I actually had to tell them that, you know, we probably need to cut down on the chitter chat so I can get my job done. So, all right, just got to finish a claim in Xactimate. Then a few things on my truck. I'm ready to deploy again. The dancing with the ladies, 3rd day in a row. Dancing with the ladies. Where do you find the ladies to dance with, man? I tell you, I'm a single guy again, so I'm looking for the dancing ladies. At the dance hall. Very cool. Well, I don't know, there's no dance halls around here. Man, I'm so disappointed in Raleigh's nightlife. I'm not impressed. I was going to the clubs quite a bit a while back, and they're all tiny little dumps, and started line dancing. Oh, so you think that's the way to go? I need to change my venue and go on a country dancing, put on the tight jeans and the boots that don't fit? Hell yeah. Oh, I think I would be a laughing stock if I went out there. You're right, though. There are a lot of really cute country girls out there on line dancing. They're all out there dancing by themselves, too. Half country. I don't wear boots. Okay. I mean, it sounds fun. I mean, you can really spin on those things. They got some serious slickness to it. You can wipe out pretty bad. But yeah, you're right. I'm not a country guy, but I have been to some of the live country shows, like on some of the country bars, and they're loaded with a bunch of redneck girls. Hey, John, how's it going? Working on some files. The grease fire loss. Oh yeah, met with the GC, wanting to replace all the cabinets, paint grade. Okay. Have a wind loss later today, hanging with the family. Very cool, John. Good to see you again. Yeah. Oh, I actually like fires for the fact that you can get a really big estimate. So, 2 spoons. Happy to see you. What you got going on today? Any roof inspections? Yeah, I just did three today. I did in Greensboro. So yeah, definitely. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming, and make sure you hit the like button at the top. Yeah, it's good. Fridays are good, man. Like I said, I was just surprised that it was Friday because I couldn't believe it was Friday. I've been busy all week and just kind of lost track of it. And I've been driving so much. That has a good way of eating up some major time and gas. Good things, gas prices are down. Yeah, Trump's doing it, man. I don't know who's doing it, but somebody's doing something. They were talking about egg prices the other day. I unfortunately buy, I'm the snob on eggs, okay guys? So just know I'm a snob on eggs. I buy the cage-free, organic, grass-fed, all these other things. I mean, it's $10 a dozen. $10 for 18 actually. $10 for 18 or $8.98 for 12. So unfortunately, I'm a snob. I'm a snob when it comes to eggs. But the eggs actually came down. So it's so funny because they were putting out some big announcement that now eggs are the lowest they've ever been, down to $3.45. And I'm like, boy, I would love my eggs to be $3.45, but my eggs are $8.95. So, but then and it was interesting because then I did look at the blue container. Okay, here's the blue eggs. Okay, they come in the blue foam container, you know, and they come in crates. There's tons and tons of them. They have no label on the you know, eggs, whatever, large eggs. They were $4.35. So in our area, they were $1 more than the average. But they're white. The eggs crack like paper, which means the shells are, you know, they're eating crap, whatever they're eating. That means you got to remember, the harder the shell, the better the egg, guys. Just know that. Okay, and the other thing is the yolks are light yellow. Okay, which means they're not getting any protein. They're not eating any bugs. Chickens have to eat bugs in order to make a healthy egg. And that's why I like the cage-free. Cage-free is they're out there finding the worms, the bugs, all those good things, eating all the grubs and all those things that are on the ground. All the nice green grass. They make a really good egg, but they're really expensive. But you gotta remember, what you put in your body, guys, is gonna keep you healthy in the long run. You put junk in your body, you're gonna feel like crap. And so you gotta take care of your body. We're climbing roofs, we're sweating, we're working hard, and we want to do this for a long time. So we want to take care of ourselves. So yeah, so today I get on a soapbox, so just ignore me. I get talking about something. So today, my shoulder's sore. I worked out extra hard the other day, and I got sore shoulders. Today, so do you guys remember? I bet you, only for those. Okay, so hold on, everything you need to know about making an adjuster and how to identify good old yeah exactly, how to identify good eggs. They look like hail. So here's a question for all those who have been watching me for a while, okay, because I talked about this on my live, so only those. Deviate might be the only one that's been here since then. Do you remember I talked about this vandalism claim where this guy was renting the house, the owners, or the tenants ended up not paying him $15,000 in rent, and he had to evict them. And so he opened up the claim and opened up 5 claims for the damage that was occurred in the home. Do you guys remember any of that? Put a 1 in the chat if you remember. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't remember. Yeah, DVA, I knew you would, because I remember you were on that live. Oh, you remember? Yeah, you remember? 2 spill on Tookie, you remember that? Okay, cool. Yeah, anybody else? You remember that claim? So these are one of those nightmare claims that never go away. So sure enough, the desk adjuster calls me, and she's on my side. This is the funny thing. She's on my side, and she says, there is no coverage for anything in here. Absolutely not. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so she's on my side. She calls me up originally, and she says, I saw your photos. Your report was awesome. You know, I totally agree that all of this is just wear and tear. You know, just a bad tenant. They've been in the house for 2.5 years. There's obviously going to be things that are banged up. You know, they didn't steal any of the appliances. They didn't do anything like that. One kid got angry and started punching walls, whatever. And, oh, that's so great. I'm glad you've been watching my videos. Yeah, so when she called me the first time, she says, yeah, we're not covering it. We're good to go. And so, but he had opened up 4 other claims. So the first was vandalism, which I denied. The second was physical damage. So he was trying to say that the walls and the drywall was physical damage. And smoking. One room had smoke damage. The next was, I'm trying to remember them all. Water. Okay, water damage was a leaking shower. It didn't have any weather stripping on the shower, and it was leaking. It was a toilet that was leaking. They put a bucket underneath the valve. Yeah, hard living, absolutely. I totally agree with everything. Anyways, he opened up 5 claims. And I told him, I said, I really don't know if there's any coverage for any of this, because this, unfortunately, he just had a bad renter, bad tenant, and I said, what I'm looking for in vandalism is somebody who is going to rip out the microwave and take it with them when they leave, who's going to steal the stove, the washer and dryer, all the, might even take all the lights, ceiling fans, you know, probably spray paint something somewhere, or, you know, kick a bunch of holes in the wall. Well, there was no kicks. There was nothing low that involved anything. It was just hand punches from a teenager, and he's got gaming stickers all over his wall. So clearly, he's an angry gamer. He was mad because he was losing. He was getting killed all the time in his game. So he's punching holes in the wall. So he had like 5 holes in the wall. But that was the only room that had holes in the wall. Well, actually, I had one other room that had a hallway, had a little hole. Anyways, the point was, desk adjuster said, nah, there's no coverage here. I get it, blah, blah, blah. 2 weeks later, which was yesterday, she calls me up and she says, I've been talking to my management company at the firm, or at the carrier, and they think they're going to pay for the smoke damage in that master bedroom and the carpet. And I was like, okay, and why would they do that? And she goes, I don't know. She said, because it's clearly in the policy that, you know, that smoke damage is not covered. It's not covered. Like, well, why are they even considering it? And she goes, I don't know. And then she said, the same thing with the water damage. And I was like, water damage? I said, that's like the leaking valve in the toilet has been leaking for almost a year, at least, because all the baseboard's rotting, the wall's rotted, the cabinet is rotted, and they had a bucket under it, and you could see the rust stain of the bucket underneath the dripping valve. I said, clearly it's been going on forever. And number one, this insurance company says no long-term wear and tear, anything is related to wear and tear or long-term events are not covered. That's on their policy all over the place. They never cover for long-term damage, ever, ever, ever. So I asked her, I said, so why are they paying this when they don't pay all the other long-term wear and tear stuff, like a dripping faucet underneath the sink? I said, that insured never knew that faucet was dripping and it ruined the cabinet, yet they don't pay that. I said, I don't get it. And she goes, I don't get it either. And I said, oh, it's a squeaky wheel again. And she goes, yep. She said, squeaky wheel. They even sent an engineer out. I think I told you guys that on the video as well. I met the engineer, so I had to go out and re-inspect. So I charged them $300 for that visit, for me to go out there and watch the engineer do his job. And so, I mean, really, I've been making money left and right on this thing because I keep charging time and expense every time I go out and do something, because I'm like, this is stupid. This is like my 3rd or 4th visit out there. And I said, I'm going to keep charging you until if you guys want to keep paying me to go out there, I'll do it. But I'm not doing this for free. And so anyways, I went up to the engineer, even talked to the engineer later, and he's like, wear and tear, everything. I don't see anything here that would justify any malicious activity or anything related to all these other causes of losses. And so anyways, so now the management, is going to buy this guy's water damage stuff in the bathroom, which, again, here's the thing. $2,500 deductible. Okay, so how much is this guy going to get? Nothing. Because by the time It's only the master closet carpet. Okay, so that's about 150 bucks. Whatever. We're not painting any of the walls. Well, we might paint the walls in there. So I'll clean the walls and I'll prime and paint the walls for the smoke damage in the closet. Same thing in the master bedroom. Prime and paint the walls to get rid of the smoke smell. The floor is laminate. Not doing anything with that. Okay, there's no damage on that. And then the drywall is basically ceiling drywall. There's no damage up in the bathroom that I can see from where it was leaking out of the. Yeah, I have to look back to see if they're going to pay the cabinet one. Okay, so they're trying to say that the ceiling damage that was in the laundry room, the big rotten hole that was leaking, was from the shower. The shower that had no weather stripping on the door, and so the water was just continually dripping. Blah blah blah. They're not going to pay to fix the shower door, but they're going to pay for the ceiling damage in the laundry room. That's the drywall damage. And the other drywall damage that's on the other side in the dining room, they're just going to prime and paint. So by the time, here's the thing, guys, by the time I do all of that repair, it's under the deductible. It's under the deductible. It's under $2,500. The guy's not going to get any money anyways. So I think they're doing it, they're approving it because they know it will be under the deductible. And they're trying to just appease this guy. Just say, hey, we approved it, but your deductible's $2,500. Sorry, you don't get any money. So, kind of a, I don't know. I guess it's just because this guy's screaming so much and he's so upset. That's probably why he's doing it. So, John, yeah, hard living, absolutely has to be malicious. You're right. I mean, I even asked the guy. I said, "What malicious?" Oh, there was a dog. There was a dog in the backyard. He was tearing up the screens. I said, "Well, did the tenant like purposely say, go tear up those screens?" No. Same with the fence. Did the dog like get direction from the insured to tear up the fence? And even though it was a 15-year-old fence, I said, of course it was falling down. It's 15 years old. Dog's just running up against it, digging a hole. Anyway, so yeah, malicious, guys, is spray paint on the walls, ripping all the light fixtures out of the ceilings, stealing the microwave, stealing the washer and dryer, the fridge, the stove, ripping the doors off the cabinets. I was looking for all that stuff. There was nothing there. Nothing. It was just hard living. You're right, John. Hard living. And we don't, and the insurance doesn't cover that. All right. Yeah, so some of the things they cover and some they don't. But it's just, I think they're doing this just to make this guy go away. Oh, feces. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Oh yeah, that's purposeful. Yeah, wipe it all over the walls and oh yeah. I've been into people's houses, they're living there, and the kids are wiping poop all over the wall. I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's just crazy. And there are certain types of people that are just slobs, and I don't understand how you can live in a house like that and think that it's okay. That's, to me, is just bizarre. This is the most expensive thing you'll own in your life, and to not take care of it is beyond me. But I've seen these kids. The parents let their kids color all over the walls. So about 3 foot down is solid crayon on every single wall, every cabinet, all the way up the stairs, everywhere, bathrooms, anywhere there's an empty space to write on, they're coloring on. And it was interesting because I went to this one house years ago, whole bunch of people living there, whole bunch of people. So there was a lot of kids, several generations of family. And I think the lady was actually kind of surprised by the look on my face when I saw, when I was looking at all the coloring in the wall, because I had never seen it that bad before. I've seen a couple things, cutesy little drawings, whatever. Never something solid. solid scribbles everywhere, 3 foot down, everywhere. And I said to her, I said, ma'am, I said, do your kids not have any paper to write on? That's all I said. Because she saw the look at my face, and so she knew I was kind of surprised. And so I couldn't help it, but I just said, do your kids not have any paper to write on? Oh yeah, they sure do. I said, but we believe in letting them be creative. And I said, thinking to myself, thinking, destructive? Not creative. Because I said, the next owner of this house is not going to like that. It's not going to be considered art. So, oh my goodness, it was unbelievable to see the mess in that house. And I've seen it on several occasions, the same type of people with the same mess. And they all believe that they're letting their kids be creative. And they turn out to be really bad people. The kids do. They grow up to be very defiant, rebellious children, teenagers in college and all that. And they're very disrespectful to rules and regulations. They're very hard to work with. Yeah, so it doesn't do them any good. It doesn't do them any good. All right, so we know Deviate's going dancing on Friday with the girlies. All righty, what else are you guys doing on a Friday night? What's there to do? And what city are you in that there's anything to do? Now, when I was in Orlando, it was pretty fun. There were some good places to go down there. When I was in Jacksonville, there's some great places. When I was in Texas, there's some great places. Yeah, Raleigh stinks. So, don't come here if you want to party. Raleigh's boring. All right, what you guys up to? Missouri City, Texas. I know exactly where that was because I lived in Rose Sharon, I think is close by that. I lived in Damon, Texas. I bet you know where that is. Probably heard of Damon. Yeah, Missouri City is on the way to Galveston because I lived in Galveston Island for. I lived in Galveston for 6 months right after Hurricane Ike. Were you there when Hurricane Ike hit as well, Eugene? Because that's how I ended up in Texas. Was I went down there as a contractor to. Oh, you were, man. That was killer. There was 40,000 houses damaged on Galveston Island, guys, in Texas, the Texas coast. And I went down, lived on the west end, rented a place. It was really wild. It was a beautiful place. Riverside, California. Okay, very cool, John. Yeah, so you got a lot of stuff going on in California, but who can live there, right? Who can afford to live there? But on Galveston, here's the thing. The rent on that west end houses was like $4,000 a weekend to rent a house because it was a really nice area. The west end of Galveston Island is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Beaches, walking, I mean, it's a really nice place. It was $3,000 to $4,000 a weekend to rent. And when we went down after the hurricane hit, me and my family went down, and I was down there because I was trying to find contracting work because I was a home builder at that time, and went down there, and they rented this gorgeous like 5-bedroom beach house, the whole thing. We got for $1,200 for the month because nobody was living there. No, the whole place, the whole island was decimated. And really on the west end, it was only the nicest area. Everything else was tore up. They had 4 feet of water in every single house that was on Galveston Island. You know, because a lot of these houses were not on stilts, or maybe little stilts. And I don't know how you stand it out there, John. Really, I don't. I don't know how in the world you can afford to make enough to live, and then the dumps of the houses and the costs that they are. I don't get it. I mean, I've seen $1 million houses where I look at it and go, I could buy that house in Raleigh for like 200 grand. And it's a piece of junk. Like 1960s with no remodeling for $1 million. I don't get it. I don't understand that. Why people want to live in California that bad, I don't know. Oh, I would move, John. Oh, man, if you have any equity at all in your house, you're going to be a millionaire when you come to come to these areas. If you got any savings or anything, I mean, it's just that's why we have so many people from California moving here. It's because it's just the cost difference between the two. Like people living in Jersey, you know, they come down here and they buy their house in cash, and they still have a couple $100,000 left over because stuff is cheap compared to where they are. And what a dream! I mean, to live in that expensive area and get the benefit of living in those really expensive areas, to come here and move to be somewhere cheap. What a dream! Whereas I'm living here and everything keeps getting more and more expensive, and our wages are not going up. So it's harder and harder to live here because things, you know, you guys are driving all the prices up when you move here because you're willing to pay $400,000 for a $200,000 house because you think it's a deal. And I'm like, no, that house was $189,000 10 years ago. So, and you're just overpaying $400 for it now. It's like, I don't understand it. So, yes, I remember some houses washed into the sea. Oh, I bet. That's insane. What a mess out there. But anyways, lots of things to do. People go there because the weather's beautiful. Lots of things to do. They all think they're going to be movie stars, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. It's a dream. You know, that's why people go to Miami. How many people go to Miami and turn around and leave a couple years later because they can't afford to live there? But it's a great place to party and great place to meet people, but you can't afford to live there. So Raleigh's up and coming. It seems like, I don't know if I'll ever stay here like forever. I have some elderly parents that I'm hanging out for, but I told them, I said, when you guys, you know, end up passing away, I'm not sure that I would stay here, just because I love being close to family. I love family, but it's just not my cup of tea. I'll tell you a secret. Bet you won't. How many people got? 4 people. Okay, only my loyal followers are going to get to hear this. I'm considering moving to the Philippines. Okay, now you're going, oh, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Well, your money goes 10 times as far. So how much do you think it costs to live in the Philippines? Well, we're talking nice living, eating out meals every single day, taking trips every day to different islands with private charter boats, getting a cab anywhere you want to go, best food in town, every meal that you want to eat. How much do you think a year it would cost you to live there? Okay, so you say, so Deviate says $500 a month for everything. Very close. But luxury, we're talking like, you could do it, $500 a month, you could do it for what we live like now. Like, I think most people live an average lifestyle. We don't live like kings, okay? So, I'm talking having, you know, not escorts, but lots of girlfriends hanging around, partying, going, you know, if you want to go to party, you could hire 3 or 4 of these girls just hang out with you and just have fun all night with them. I mean, it's unbelievable, guys. You could buy drinks for everybody in the whole place and just have a party all night long and just enjoy life amazingly. How much do you think that would cost in the Philippines? So you personally know people that live there. Wow. I've got multiple buddies that married Philippines. Wow, that's amazing. I've never heard of anybody doing that personally, Deviate. So man, we need to hit up. We need to talk more, because I am so serious. I've been looking into this for a year and a half. And luxury living, guys. Luxury living, we're talking totally amazing living, is $1,200 a month. $1,200 a month, guys. That's basically what your Social Security is going to pay you when you retire. It's crummy. Here in the United States, you can't live on $1,200 a month. You know, that's what Social Security is going to pay me, or maybe $2,000 when I'm lucky because I make a little bit more, but it's still crummy. You cannot live and retire, because all the expenses of things keep going up. So say you retire at 60 or 65, whatever. When you're 70, everything's going to be out of this world for price. And your retirement doesn't go up, maybe a little bit, but not much. But you can't live in the United States unless you have some massive subsidy or some type of passive income, or you're like an incredible investor and you're just bringing in, investing every day, making money. I don't know how we're all going to retire, guys. It's like, it doesn't, you've got, I'm looking at it like, maybe I could do some speeches, or, maybe the YouTube channel will pay a little bit of the subsidy long term. But I'll never get famous on YouTube because it's such a small niche. There's just not that many people watching adjuster videos. And so it's not like, Mr. Beast, where billions of people are interested in what he's doing because it's entertaining. It's totally different with my niche. It's very limited. It's very, very quiet. So I will never become YouTube rich, ever. There's no possibility ever that will ever happen. But it'll be a nice little subsidy and something I could still do. I can still talk in the Philippines, get online and do some lives and talk and educate people, whatever. I can still do this forever and still keep it alive. But we're talking about living, guys. Life in the future is about what you're going to do, and you're probably thinking, well, I'm only 30, I don't need to think about it. No, you need to think about it. Because there's too many of us that think about life kind of like day to day, like we take care of our chores, take care of what we got to do for the day, but we don't think about what it's going to be like in long term when you can't work, when you're older and you can't climb a ladder, or you can't, work 40 hours a week. As you get older, you can. You just, there comes a time, guys, you're not going to be able to do this. So you got to look beyond that, start now, and think about ways to bring passive income in. And that's money that you are bringing in without having to work for that money. So for instance, I know you guys hear me talk about my macros, but that's a passive income for me. I'm hoping to continually always sell those macros to help people out write estimates faster. And anyone could have done it. Any adjuster could have created macros and done the same thing I'm doing and sell those, but I chose to do it, and hopefully it will bring me some passive income forever. And so that's what you got to do, is you got to find something that you do that is bringing value to somebody that they will continue to want to pay for forever. Whether it's a YouTube channel, or whether you have some knowledge that you want to pass on to somebody, or if you have skills. You got to remember, get away from the mindset of knowing that you have to perform something in order to get money. Okay, that's the work mentality. I go to work, I perform a job, I get paid for my work. Well, what if you can't do that job anymore? Okay, so then you don't make that money. So you got to find something where you don't have to put in the time or the effort or the work in order to get paid. Macros, I did once. I created the macros and I put it up on the server, and now they can download it whenever they want. And I never have to do anything with it except answer a few questions with some download problems or install issues. But it's a passive thing that will go on forever and ever, and I don't have to do any more work to get it. The same thing, hopefully, with my course. I'm hoping that it'll grow and people will like it and they'll find interesting and they'll want to do that investing. So you got to think about that in your mind, in whatever you're good at, or think of how you can develop something that also is a skill that you can be paid without actually having to do anything for it. I've tried investing. It's hard, guys. Investing is very difficult. And for some reason, I'm not really good at it. Every time I think it goes up, it goes down. Every time it goes down, it goes up. But that's because they're saying now a lot of it is manipulated. It's all manipulated by AI. Is that they'll do the opposite of what everybody else normally thinks, because that's how they make money. So, they say that we are the brokers or the bots' liquidity. So we are the money that funds them because they do everything the opposite of us. So yeah, investing may not be the best thing. Crypto, for me, I think is going to be my best investment that will pay off long term. I firmly believe in XRP, which to me is life-changing, and you're not late. So guys, get out there and buy some XRP, because it is something that will be life-changing in the future. It is here to stay. It's now if one of the official reserve currencies that's going to be for the United States Reserve. You know how we stored gold in the old days? Well, now it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana. Those are the, there's probably going to be 10 more, but those are going to be the store of value that are going to be the future. And we just started in XRP, guys. It's only $2.50 a coin. I bought it when it was 40 cents. So I'm already up 6x on everything that I put in already. But they're talking about XRP potentially going to $700 before the end of 26. Okay, so that's insanity in investments for me. I own several thousand XRP. So if that goes to that value, then every coin, instead of being worth 40 cents, is now worth $700. That's pretty insanity. And I just put the money in and leave it alone. Don't even think about it. And just, it's going to be like my Bitcoin in the future. Instead of spending my Bitcoin and buying a pizza, like the guy, and if you haven't heard that story, trust me, go check it out. The guy blew his whole life by paying for Bitcoin with, you know, I don't know, a couple hundred Bitcoin for a pizza, or 2 pizzas, like $40. Well, if he'd held it, he would worth, you know, something $1 billion by now, whatever. So that's how I feel with XRP. XRP has now been recognized as the official reserve coin of the US government. So I feel like I'm in early. I'm in early when Bitcoin, you know, 13 years ago was $5 or whatever. Now I own XRP at bottom dollar, which they're saying in my lifetime XRP could go to $10,000. So that's pretty insanity return for me in retirement, because you remember, every year that value goes up, it's increasing the value that I get to have if I want to pull out some XRP and live on. But the key to that is also, going back to the Philippines, is living cheap as possible in a place that's nice, where I can enjoy life, and yeah, and deviate, yeah, come back, you know, go there for the slow season, go live there for 6 months or whatever, and then come back for storm season. Absolutely. What a great plan. You got to remember, American dollars are going 10 times longer in Philippines. If I could go hit a cat in the summer and make 100 grand, put that away in some XRP. I mean, and you can take crypto out anywhere in the world. It's on my phone. You know, my crypto's on my phone. So basically, you can live the rest of your life on buying XRP and keeping that and holding and making that your new Bitcoin. Bitcoin's so expensive. I mean, they're talking about, yeah, it could go to $1 million, whatever. But here's the thing, that's only a 10x. Even that, but that takes so much money to make Bitcoin a 10x. So much money. Whereas I get in to XRP at what it is now, and it goes to 750 or 10,000. That's like a, oh man, that's like a 50,000x. Whatever it happens to be. I can't even do the math. It's just mind-blowing. So, don't have any kids, are already doing it. Very good. Well, you're lucky. Well, I have kids, but they don't want anything to do with me. So, I'm pretty much like I don't have any kids. So, messy divorce, guys. I'm not doing that marriage thing again. That's just me personally, but whatever you guys want to do, that's up to you. I put 25 years into a marriage and was severely let down with the whole thing, and I lost everything. It's disgusting, guys. DV8, I remember you telling me too. It's a disaster, divorces today. It just ruins good people. And so my new outlook is I'm gonna be friends with everybody. So, but if you want to sit there and take half my income, not gonna happen again. Not gonna happen again. So yeah, so all right, Shay. Hey, welcome. I remember seeing you. Welcome back. Good morning, Daniel. Good to see you. I've been deployed to Illinois. Supposed to be there Sunday from Texas. Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, there's so much going on, guys, in the Midwest right now for hail and wind and tornado damage. Oh, great. I'm so happy for you, Shay. It is totally awesome. You guys get to go through a car wash again. I got to get a car wash. My car, all these bugs since I've been driving for an hour and whatever. I picked up all these bugs. And I got some kind of debris all over the car again from dirty sky and dew. Oh, I was telling you guys about the car wash is that you got to get your monthly car wash subscription. Find one of those places that allow you to buy a car wash for a month and use it as many times as you want. And if you break it down, say you only get a car wash, it's still like $5 or $6 a wash, whereas you can't get a car wash today for under 10, practically anywhere you go. So it works out really well for me because I go about 6 times a month, even more sometimes. If I'm driving by the exit on the way home, I just stop in and grab a wash. It's right off the interstate, and and I pop in there, and 5 minutes later I got a wash, and I got a vacuum. I can vacuum everything out for free. So it's just that's a really good thing, and write it off in your taxes, guys. It's keeping your car looking ship shape, tire shine. Buy that really nice wash too. Buy the rinse-free wash with the Rain-X and the tire shine, and do the whole thing and just write it off. It's like $35 a month, $39 a month, and just write it off on your business, and you get that taken care of, guys. It's all paid for your business. 100% write off. Keeping your car nice. And then it always looks nice to the people that you drive up. If they see a nice clean car when you pull up on that inspection, then they think you are a really high quality person, and that you're really going to you're going to take care of them. So yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm 57. I'll turn in 58 in April. Okay, so I've got to start thinking seriously about what my future looks like. My parents are 81 and 82. They're not going to be around a long time yet. And as long as I keep coming back, I think they'll be fine with me if I decided to go to the Philippines. And deviate, you're right, there's so many people, Americans, that are going there now because of the fact that there's a much better life to living there than America has to offer for retirement. It's not possible for us in America, unless you have made millions, for you to live a lifestyle of not working. If you're not working, you're not bringing income in, then you're just burning through your retirement. You're burning whatever your lifestyle is, $60,000 a year, whatever it happens to be. You're burning through that every single year. Well, that $1 million is not going to last very long if you're burning through $60,000 a year. And so you got to look at it in that respect, is that I would rather, live a high life for $12,000 to $15,000 for a year, and live in luxury, and then coming home, buy the ticket. Yeah, the tickets are expensive, but at least have a chance then to see the world, make lots of friends, live somewhere cheap, eat well, live on the beach, enjoy life. I mean, life's too short, guys, to be working your whole life away. As I get to be older, I realize that it's not all about work anymore. It's time to put your foot forward and make your life better in the future. So, well, Christian, thank you so much for your compliment. Yeah, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. Like, even if I move to the Philippines, I'm still going to broadcast. I'm still going to teach you guys, because you can learn a lot of things just by hearing somebody who's done it before. Even if I stopped, then I'm still going to be, I might do some file reviews or hey man, I might do some file reviews or something like that, where I can do it from anywhere in the world on a computer. As long as you have a computer, then you can work. So I might be a file reviewer. I don't think I'd enjoy that very much, fixing everybody else's mess. Because, then again, you have to look at the adjuster who's lazy. You're dealing with all the lazy ones too. The lazy adjuster who wants to use his file reviewer as his correction person, meaning he doesn't want to spend the time doing a really quality work, so he's just going to throw the file in and then let the file adjuster give him all the errors so he can fix. that would be rather frustrating to me to deal with daily. Somebody who's just not willing to do their job. And then I'm constantly having to fix their mess. That doesn't sound very good to me. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll do some consulting on air, you know, maybe some live stuff, do some consulting. That might be something I do in the future. It's hard to know. But, you know, we'll do what we do right now because I enjoy it. I can do it. But until something changes, you know, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. But just know that my long-term goal is going to be looking for a cheaper place to live. That's going to be and Thailand's pretty awesome too, but it doesn't have as many beaches. Philippines has got 5,000 islands, guys. I don't know if you've done some research on that. 5,000 islands. Now, most of those are not inhabitable, but you could go there for the day, you know, rent a boat there, and they only charge you like $20 to get a boat, private drive to get you there. And then you've got private guys can take you to this beach, an isolated beach. You're gonna stay in a white sand beach. You got all your friends with you, bring all your buddies with you. And oh yeah, go with an RV. Maybe. I don't know, man. It does sound interesting, but to me, I just kind of feel like I like driving. I like staying in a hotel. So hotels are you're right. I have thought about it a lot, Deviate, because all your stuff's there. You know, you're living in the living room. You know, you're watching your same TV every night. You got your stuff exactly where you want it. I get it. I feel like that would be cool. But how do you deal with, like, going into these mobile parks with, you know, guys camping? Sorry for the noise, guys. We're in the car wash. How do you deal with the guys, like, who are staying in a tent right next to you? Oh, I'm breaking up. Oh, bummer. Can you hear me now? I think it's just the noise. The car wash stopped for some reason. We're stuck in a car wash. We're stuck in a car wash. Somebody broke the car wash. Sometimes it stops, but other times it just picks right up again. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, now I'm in an extra soak. Oh no, here we go. Yeah, I think the coverage is not. Oh, so the RV resorts don't allow tents. Okay, well that's good to know. Yeah, I mean, I always thought about that and thinking the noise from like partiers and stuff at the RV parks probably be pretty bad. Sorry for the noise. We'll be out of here soon. Well, I hope this guy pulls ahead in front of me because he's awful close. Yeah, I think there's something going on with the car wash. It's kind of screwed up a little bit. Not working as good as it used to. They have a green light that tells you when to drive out of the thing, and it's delayed, and so everybody's sitting there at the end, and then you feel like you're going to smash into the back of the guy that's in front of you. So DV, you live 1 year round. Oh, you live in one all year round. Okay, 15 minutes from the beach, $600 a month. Wow, cool. Now, is your RV paid for, or is that what your RV cost per month is? So $600 a month is what you pay for your RV. Very cool. Well, that's very doable too. That's very doable. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm probably going to end up my live here. I'm going to get some lunch since I'm almost home. I told you guys that my pretty much standard on the way home is that once I finish up my claims and I get back to the house or close to the house, I'll stop off and get some lunch. And the reason I do that is so that I don't take up time when I get home cooking lunch or preparing lunch, take another half an hour away from my time. This way I can eat sometimes on the way home or just sit in the parking lot and knock it out so that when I get home, I'm just diving right into writing estimates. So that's typically what I like to do. $600 a month for rent plus electric, water, sewer, garbage included. There's a heated pool, grill, shuffleboard, pickleball. Wow, cool. That sounds like pretty good living. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Yeah, I thought about the RV living. I thought it was an option for me, but yeah, I don't know. Do you haul a vehicle behind your RV too when you go? Because that would be the best, is if you could park it and then have a smaller vehicle to do all your, well, you'd have to, because you'd have to do all your claims with that. So yeah, you haul your truck or whatever, or your SUV or whatever. I saw a guy with a Tesla who was an adjuster, and he folded down the seats. Your RV is not drivable. Okay. Well, very cool. All right, guys. Well, best of luck to you guys on this Friday. Have fun tonight. Stay safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Well, that's not much, but be safe. Guys, it was good chatting with y'all. Good to see y'all on the live. Thanks for all your comments, your likes. And guys, just take care of yourself. Have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. Be with your family. And make the best of it. All right, guys. See y'all. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, Mexico. That's an option too. All right, guys.